Emily Fleekley. I'm 24 years old. I'm from Dallas, Georgia.
Who have you brought with you today?
This is Melissa, Ellery, Stacy.
I just think yellow looks bad on me.
They are very, very against the yellow dresses that I want.
That looks like my bridesmaid's dress.
Who cares? Your wedding's over.
Melissa is wearing a short canary silk crinkle chiffon dress.
You look like you're like a thing of cabbage. That is the ugliest dress I think I've ever seen in my life.
The bride, she's being really, really nasty to her bridesmaids. She had said when she first came in that her bridesmaids weren't supporting her. Like, damn right.
Number 2, mean bride attacks bridesmaids throughout the entire appointment. Weddings are a celebration of love, but can also destroy a friendship or two if you're not careful. And looks like Emily and her bridesmaids are not in the mood to be careful at all. It turns out, bridesmaids uttering whatever the bride wants through gritted teeth while handing over their pursuit can hinder and even break a friendship.
Emily Fleekley. I'm 24 years old. I'm from Dallas, Georgia.
Who have you brought with you today?
This is Melissa, Ellery, Stacy, and Laura, my matron of honor.
Emily's like a sister to me.
What are you looking for today?
I definitely want yellow.
At the same time, constantly fighting and disregarding what the bride wants is not something any bridesmaid should ever do because pre-wedding planning is a pretty tense moment for the bride. Emily is about to marry her sweetheart. She has already decided on her dress, but she's at the boutique to pick out dresses for her bridesmaids. She has been friends with her bridesmaids since they were in high school. In fact, they are more than friends. These guys are sisters, and they will definitely fight like sisters too. Many brides have minor disputes over dresses, hairstyles, and the hen's party, but brides who lost touch with their friends often claimed the bridesmaids were either jealous, insecure, or upset about money. But there's nothing like choosing a bridesmaid's dress to bring about a catfight between otherwise friendly gals. There are a number of other issues of monumental importance to contend with during the wedding planning process, all of which will eventually lead to the same outcome, conflict between bridesmaids, which will require anyone's inner bridezilla to engage in order to restore order. Emily wants to get yellow dresses for her bridesmaids, but they are all strongly against this idea.
Everybody okay with the yellow?
Well, like Big Bird up there.
My bridesmaids have actually added a lot of
I
stress.
just think yellow looks bad on me.
They are very, very against the yellow dresses that I want.
You're dead set on yellow.
Emily and I definitely have a lot of difference in taste.
Yeah, no, definitely yellow.
Nobody wants to dress in yellow for the wedding, and her maid of honor even says snarkily that she doesn't want to look like Big Bird. One of the most important roles of the maid of honor is simply to be a reliable support system for the bride. It's no secret that planning a wedding can get seriously stressful, so try to be a positive influence and help the bride enjoy her planning experience. It seems Emily, maid of honor, is not successful at this task because her snarky comments seem to hurt Emily rather than support her in any way, shape, or form. Emotions are high, and so are the stakes. The bride has got an Everest-sized list of items to check off your wedding planning to-dos. They understandably want the date to be sublimely perfect, and then they have got personality serving them major stress on top of it all.
I've felt very, very lonely through this process. I don't feel like my bridesmaids support me. I just hold everything in, but it really does bother me.
Bright yellow.
Yellow!
I definitely think we just need to let them see what yellow is really all about.
My matron of honor would kill me if I put this on them.
Laura, it's been a crazy roller coaster. I was there for her wedding. Laura's like, oh, wow, when I planned my wedding, I did this. Or when I planned my wedding, we had this.
That looks like my bridesmaid's dress.
Who cares? Your wedding's over.
Melissa is wearing a short canary silk crinkle chiffon dress.
Now imagine having to deal with a group of unsavory and mean bridesmaids on top of that, especially when they are supposed to be the ones that support you. This is exactly what Emily is going through, and it's taking a toll on her. Her patience is running out. A large part of the tension comes from the fact that Laura recently had her wedding, and she seems to want to control everything, seemingly knowing what's best because she had a wedding recently as well. Newlywed bridesmaids are full of advice, usually unsolicited. They make a lot of should and can't statements such as, you should write your own vows, and you can't have a chocolate-covered wedding cake. Or if you can tell her about a wedding detail you've picked out, she'll smile politely, raise her eyebrows, and say something like, when I had my wedding, I did this, in a not-so-subtle attempt to get the bride to change your mind. This know-it-all bridesmaid may be well-meaning, but our maid of honor is driving Emily crazy with her constant opinions. Believe it or not, this kind of behavior indicates that Laura may have regrets about her own wedding, whether about a style detail or because she simply can't accept the fact that her big day is over. It's similar to a bride's mother saying to her daughter 30 years after her own wedding, "We should do this because that's something she didn't get to do for her own event." So despite the fact that it's kind of understandable why Laura is acting this way, it's not fair to Emily because she wants to have the wedding of her dreams, not Laura's dreams. Especially after she stood by Laura's side when she was her maid of honor, she deserves the same kind of love and unconditional support from Laura now. Now, when the bridesmaids finally try on yellow dresses, Emily insults all of them and just tells them they look insanely bad. This is after all of them said they don't want to wear yellow in the first place.
Ah, that's horrible.
Stacy is wearing a short mustard color silk crinkle chiffon dress.
No, you look like a big nacho, like covered in cheese.
I like her dress. I love this dress. I want this.
Okay, out of all the colors, I like that one the best, for sure.
Lemon.
I just hate that dress. You look like you're like a thing of cabbage.
I like the material of it.
About what Laura's thinking. Is she gonna try to pick out a dress just because she likes it?
Me grandma, but I love more conservative things. I'm just old school like that.
Look me in that horrible dress.
The girls were actually trying to be supportive of this yellow dress, and all the bride is doing is being nasty.
Like word vomit. It just came out and I couldn't control it.
Laura comes out wearing a dress that is actually quite beautiful. It is yellow like Emily wanted, and the other bridesmaids seem to love it as well. Emily says Laura looks like a big cabbage and she hates the dress style. But this is the real breaking point. Emily straight up says that Laura likes the dress she is wearing because her taste is horrible, and that is why Emily's bridesmaid dress for Laura's wedding was ghastly.
Is that horrible? That is horrible. Wow. Okay.
Melissa is wearing a short silk dupioni dress.
That is the ugliest dress I think I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, that's pretty.
Stacy is wearing a short taffeta dress.
That looks cheap. That looks like I could find it at, you know, the local Walmart.
That is looking bodice with a flowy skirt.
That would look hideous on anybody.
Emily told me that her bridesmaids aren't being supportive of her, but all I can see is that her bridesmaids are actually being sweet and supportive. There's definitely something weird going on. So I want to see what Lori thinks about this.
You can see the anger and the disappointment flash on Laura's face. She seems quite hurt by what Emily said. Emily doesn't stop and continues insulting the dress and saying she looked like a huge cow in it. Now Emily taking a step too far and continues hurting Laura's feelings even though it's obvious she is offended. The next line of dresses fails to impress Emily as well. She says they look cheap and she definitely doesn't look like she wants them at her wedding. Dress after dress is tried on, but Emily's insults just keep getting worse. It seems there is no dress that will impress her. The boutique employee senses that something is off here. The bride complained that her bridesmaids were mean and nasty towards her, but what he is seeing is that the bride is actually being nasty towards her bridesmaids now. This situation is getting too out of control for him to manage, and he decides it's time to involve Lori.
The bride, she's being really, really nasty to her bridesmaids. She had said when she first came in that her bridesmaids weren't supporting her, but from what I can see, her bridesmaids are being really supportive.
Is any of her family here?
Oh, her mom's not here.
Oh, okay.
Nobody's here.
Okay, well then there's definitely more to it.
She needs to figure out what is up with this bride because if she doesn't, this dress fitting is about to go up in flames real fast. Lori enters the dressing room and starts asking Emily some questions about her wedding, and it turns out the reason she is being so nasty is that her family is not supportive of her wedding planning.
How y'all doing? I'm Lori. You must be the bride.
I am.
How've your wedding planning been going?
Horrible. I just haven't really had much help.
What about your family? What about your mom?
My mom isn't really big into it. I just think that she's having trouble dedicating much towards my wedding.
I think a bride would be very angry if her mother's not interested in the wedding. But if she in turn turns that anger on her bridesmaids, it is not only going to ruin this appointment today.
All the burden is on her shoulders. This frustration is being taken out on her bridesmaids, and it is on the verge of ruining their friendships forever. After Emily finally got her feelings out there, it seems that she is feeling better.
Melissa is wearing a short lemon taffeta dress.
Oh.
Stacy is wearing a short taffeta dress with crisscross racing, sweetheart neckline, and all three coming out lemon color.
You look good. Thanks.
Like, damn right.
I love it.
I love it too.
Oh my gosh, you look good.
This is what I was thinking for you.
So, Emily, are you saying yes to this dress?
I'm gonna say yes.
Today made me realize how good of friends I actually have.
And in fact, she starts liking some of the dresses she is seeing as well. All the resentment she was feeling dissipated, and finally, they pick out the perfect dress for her bridesmaids. Number 1, covering the wings tattoo. A wedding is a significant event in the life of any bride. It is a day that she has dreamed about for years, imagining every detail, including the perfect dress. However, sometimes there can be disagreements between brides and their mothers about choosing the wedding dress. This can be a challenging and emotional time for both parties, but it is essential to understand the reasons behind the disagreement and how to resolve it. Samantha, along with her mother, came to look for the perfect dress for her wedding, but they already had some demands set for each other.
Tell me about the fiancé.
He made it into a box. I love him. Theme is very rustic.
The budget.
2 to 5.
Fun?
I am.
Now I noticed as we were walking back, you had your eye on a
Gown doesn't necessarily mean something long.
Samantha's mother hates her tattoo on the back and thinks it's going to ruin her wedding gown because, according to her, the tattoo looks ugly. But on the other hand, Samantha wants to show her tattoo. And because of that, she hates the dress.
With help from Randy, Camille hits the possibly short dresses for Samantha.
Very different looks for you. It is complete.
Oh, my mother will love that. I love that dress.
Let's get
Have
started.
fun, ladies. By Acra. It has a sheer back. Thinks about Samantha showing off her tattoo. Whoa.
Very Roman.
How do you feel?
After the first dress, Samantha tries the short dress on and was surprised to know that her mother likes the wings tattoo on her because of the dress. But the only problem is that her mother wanted a long gown for her daughter. As the tension grows, Randy, along with the consultants, find a solution to the problem.
It just hangs on her rear end. It just kind of like, bam.
It's supposed to hang on my rear end.
It offsets the wings. I don't like it. I don't like the dress.
It's very sexy, but I don't really want to be.
As Samantha tries another ball gown dress, her mother immediately knew that this was not her style. But after some time, both parties agreed on the short dress as Samantha could remove the skirt when she wanted to after a couple of pictures.
The tool and I'll put it on.
I love it. I love
Dress?
Yes, we are.
That's all for today, folks. See you another time.